Man, I wish I had a third monitor. Okay,
Dude,
we have.
I think I scratched myself in the shower. It looks like someone punched me in the eye.
Holy shit, you're really red, man.
Maybe it's better if we keep me off screen.
No, 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 no. You're beautiful. You're so
Nah.
red. Is this bueno, guys? Is this volume good? Is this picture really beautiful? Man, he's so fucking handsome. All right. So what we're gonna do basically is we're just gonna go through the monsters first, just see what has buffed, what has been nerfed, and then we'll give our 2 cents.
I mean, we're gonna talk about the beast riders, but I think they're pretty harshly nerfed, and I think they're still gonna be good. But it was a really good nerf to like actually address the very like bad parts about them. Like they still have their base speed, so they're still gonna be super strong. But I think the beast rider nerfs were good.
Barbara, the water beast rider, her damage is lessened by 10% when isn't only you know what? We'll never
No,
mind.
you need 4 buffs to like fully ignore now instead of 3.
Okay, okay.
So that's like, and it's a little bit less damage if you just strip will. So
Alright.
it's a little bit less boost as well.
Okay. And then we have Savannah. Instead of 100% pushback, it's 75% pushback. And then we have Obabo's Cream. Obabo's Cream, which is Han, the Dark Ninja. Instead of attacking 3 times and increases attack bar by 30%, it attacks 4 times and increases attack bar by 25%, meaning that he will have 100% ATB. And he also will also weaken defense. And then we have Wool Young. Instead of buffing for 3 turns and healing based on attack power, she now recovers HP based on HP by 20% of max HP and increases attack power by 2 turns. In addition, increases attack power by 15%. That's her second skill, which is pretty unique. Then we have Light Monkey. I think everything is good. Yeah, good. Light Monkey, after attacking, decreases enemy attack by about 50% per harmful effect granted on the enemy. So this is we're gonna go into detail, but I think that means when he lands his 2 debuffs, he will also push back 100%. Then we have Water Monkey. Shihu attacks 6 times. Inflicted damage is increased by 2%. Then we have Fire Monkey and all the all the other monkeys, like Dark Wind, Fire. They their second skill has been reduced with 1 turn. We have what the fuck is the fire demon's name? Bale?
Bale.
Christian Bale? Yeah. 8%. Yes, that's all I have to say. Then we have Poseidon. He has basically AoE Leica attack. Non-glancing third skill, that is speed scaling. Then we have Ritesh, that has, I think Ritesh's third skill is now 100% activation rate. And the rest of the beast monks that have meditate will also cleanse themselves. And then we have Tessarion, that does decreases the damage dealt from enemies with no harmful effects by 30%. He's more tankier against units that have no harmful effects on themselves. And then we have Blushin. Instead of surprise box, he now has surprise bomb and mounts a bomb on all enemies, which detonates after 2 turns. This skill receives 50% additional accuracy. So it's a pretty nice bomb. Yes. And then we have Wind Mermaid. Now all of her third skill, all of the attributes from her third skill is now 100%. Because she, when you skill her up, she gets 20% harmful effect. So it's a 100% defense break and cooldown reduction. The strip is already 100%, if you read it correctly. Then we have.
And I know some people think that the like third skill is not gonna have strip anymore because it's not included here. But the strip was already 100%. It's just the last 2 debuffs that are getting like their effect up. So she's still keeping strip on it.
Si, senor. And then they also improved. I don't know if it's improved. We can give our take of when we've read everything. Shield amount is proportionate to the level of the monster that uses this skill. Max to max HP of the monster that uses this skill. So the shield is based on HP now. Fire and Dark Mermaid has they have wait, effect added, increases attack bar of revive. Oh, I didn't read this. Huh. Oh, that's pretty sick. When you revive, you also boost that unit with 30% ATB. Okay. And then we have Light Mermaid Molly, 25% heal instead of 10%. Then the snipers, increase damage, decrease cooldown on the Fire, Wind, Dark. Fire Sniper, instead of randomly putting defense on someone, it will put a defense on the unit with the worst HP status. And then we have the Wind one, increases ATB by 50%, from 50% to 100%. Dark Reloading increases the attack bar by 50% when you defeat an enemy. Who gives? And then we have Vengeful Fire, the Fire Magic Knight, 100% more damage if the enemy has more HP than you. Greatly increase the value of attack speed that increases as your HP gets lower. Yeah. And then we have Lupinus, who will now also decrease 90% ATB on the specific. I mean, I think she already did that before, but decreases the enemy's target attack bar by 30% with first and second attack, absorbs with the third skill. So what has been changed with this skill is that the last attack now absorbs instead of just reducing. Water Dryad Hernia decreases the defense for 3 turns. So now she oblivions for 3 turns and decreases defense break for 3 turns. And then we have
pushes back as well.
Oh yeah, she also pushed back. How much was the pushback? 50%?
50, yeah.
Oh, Mutakumura. And then we have Wind Dryad. If you attack an enemy who already has, I know that Sample Text uses this unit a lot on his alt account, who already has continuous damage, additionally inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn, 2 turns instead. All right, and then we have the Gargoyle Summoner. All gargoyles. Fuck, I can't. Can you say can you pronounce it?
Gargoyle.
Gargoyle. Thank you. Effect added. Stuns the enemy for 1 turn with a 30% chance. Didn't it do that before?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
It says effect added. I mean, I don't know what the gargoyles
no one
did
knows.
before, but yeah.
No one knows.
Effect added, so...
okay.
I guess
Oh yeah, it was...
today.
okay, the only thing that was about the first skill is based on defense. It scales with defense. That's all I remember from it. And then we have the Fire and Dark Gargoyle provokes for 1 turn. Water Gargoyle passive activation condition ease if your turn ends with less than 30%, 50%. I really feel like this is just very niche, really fucking niche. It's basically like the Water Golem. I think the Water Golem.
I think that's actually a pretty big buff. Like, it's not going to matter that much, but it's a big buff, because it goes from 30 to 50, so that's almost like a 100% increase. Because if, like, most of the time where you're at 30, you're almost always dead anyways.
Yeah.
And now it's like half HP. But I don't think it's going to, like, make the meta or anything, but it is a pretty big buff to their...
Yes, it's a big buff, because it's... Before it was 30%, now it's 50%.
Yeah.
Wind Gargoyle. Increase... reflected damage by 25%. Passive activation condition ease decreases your skill cooldown time when you get attacked. Even critical hits don't occur. Oh, okay. So the cooldown only occurred when you got critically hit. Okay. Light Gargoyle. What the fuck does the light one do? When increasing the skill cooldown time of the target that attacks you. Oh, that's what it did. The cooldown time can exceed the max cooldown time. This effect is not applied to boss. Okay. And then we have the magical archers. Increase damage, increase damage, increase damage, and twist my nipples. And then we have the dark magical archer, who is the only thing that I can say is relevant out of these magical archers in the sense of what type of buff it got. But it's still very, like, niche. It's very niche. Yeah, it's pretty niche. I would say it's pretty niche. And then we have the awakening effect of some monsters will be changed. Panda Warrior. Instead of having increases resistance by 25%, they have buffed his second skill. Man, okay. I'm fucking tired of reading. I've been talking the whole fucking day.
He's like just cleansing the whole team now with his second skill.
Yeah.
So that's
So
basically
he's pseudo Vela Jewel without the immunity. He will be my new Vela Jewel.
and defense break and every debuff on his third skill.
Yeah,
With-
I'm gonna use him. I'm gonna use him RTA. And then we have the Dark Anubis. Second skill heals the whole team instead of just himself. And then we have Wind Anubis. Now we have the fourth unit in the game that does Oblivion. They might have taken away his stun. I think that's correct.
Yeah, they did.
And they added Oblivion to his second skill. So now we have a Wind element with Oblivion. Now we just need the Dark one, right? Yeah. Wind Mermaid. This is also why people think are really hyped about Mermaid. Wind Mermaid is because her Awakening is, instead of boosting her second skill, it increases her attack speed by 50%. So now she has a 110 base speed. Nice. And then we have Zeratu. Now it's really much easier to build Zeratu. You have Awakening into crit rate. Domarigato. Oh, is it 111? Oh, wait, okay. Okay, I should ignore chat. Yeah, because Kicklid, the Wind Mermaid, it's 95 base speed, right? Or
I think it's 110 for base speed.
Yeah, I mean current
Or
base
Kicklid.
speed. Current base speed. It's 95. Is it, or is it 96?
I know it's 110 for beta, so
Okay.
I'm assuming it's the same.
Yeah, so it's 110 for yeah. Okay.
Alright, so now we can fuck off and then we can actually talk about the stuff,
Yes,
right?
please. Let's fucking go.
Nice.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, you can begin if you want.
No, go ahead. What do you think?
So the thing is, like personally, I would like to see more nerfs than there's been here, but it still feels like most of the buffs here, they're still trying to address things that we have been like talking about without explicitly nerfing like the said units.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Hatha was probably the one who got the most untouched, but there's still like some things in here which actually makes it a bit worse for her. So like for example, the Fire Monkey buff, I don't think it's gonna be insane, but it was already like a soft counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the strongest Ganya Thor setup right now is when you use Chiwu, and then you're already locked into like a 24 speed lead,
Mm-hmm.
and you're very like committed into outspeeding the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And now that there's like a 110 base speed setup, like
Against it.
almost like an Okeanos.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on a like Vanessa or something with that, you're pretty much always gonna outspeed the Hathor setup. And since they're so reliant on getting their full combo off to CCU, it's gonna be pretty rough. So that's like a big nerf to Chiwu setups with Hathor.
Yeah, so you think that Kicklid will be a like good meta unit? I mean, a good counter to the Gany Hathor comp, basically.
It depends on getting a Thor comp, but at least against like the strongest current setups. I guess some Ilyana teams could be fine still, but for the most part, it's pretty bad for Chiwu Hathors.
Mm-hmm.
And thing is, Kicklid will pretty much only be used for outspeeding, I feel. Because if you're trying to have a unit for like long extended battles, then you
Mhm.
might as well go something like Akia.
Yeah.
So I think she's gonna be used mostly for the like turn one impact with the base speed.
Yeah, I think like what is very impactful about Kicklid is that her it's basically only her third skill. Like once you use her third skill, the only thing that she has is a unreliable strip on the first skill, and then she has a shield to cleanse. But what do you know what the cooldown of the third skill is?
I think it's 4, but I'm not sure.
Depends on what the cooldown is on the third skill. It's a 3-turn cooldown.
But I mean, at least you could say that like Kicklid's overall set is still better than like Daphnis after Daphnis throws his third.
Yeah, because
it's a 3-turn CD,
3 turns.
so it's actually pretty decent. But yeah,
That arrow is annoying. What fucking arrow?
yeah. When you move the mouse on the patch, it's
Oh.
on my webcam as well.
Oh,
Because I think you have the Discord below it. I don't know.
wait, what? What arrow? I don't know what arrow you guys are talking about. Look at Obabo's nose. Oh. My mouse curse. Okay, I just moved. I moved it away. Okay, we moved it away. There we go. I mean, the reason I have the mouse here is just to fucking point at it. What the fuck? But yeah. So the way that people will rune up Kicklet basically will be to just put it on a Swift set just to counter that specific comp. Or do you?
Yeah, like Swift set is very straightforward. I think that would be the most used. But then now, since their skills are actually at 3-turn CD, they could probably do some Violent as well, because it's easy to tune her to things. And then you'll use her more for like the defense break strip. And
I'm sorry about. I think the arrow they're talking about is the fucking arrow next to your head right now, like the light.
no, they're talking about your cursor.
Are you guys talking about my cursor or? Wait, really? Okay, fuck, man. Never mind. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Go ahead, man.
It's fine. But generally, I think Swift is the way to go.
Yeah.
For most cases, but you could also use her as like a violence setup for maybe tune her in front of a Shio, and then you can either strip 2 units, or you could like one shot with Shio, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good setup unit. Basically, what you do is, since it's a 100% activation rate, you will almost certainly. I mean, all of the attributes from the third skill is. Does it activate on each hit, or is it like
No,
strip
like
first?
it's 1 hit each. Otherwise, it would be something else. But yeah, it's 1 hit each. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the first skill removes multiple buffs. I think I saw that in Fireman while I was leveling her up. So I think it's actually multiple buffs that she removes.
Okay. So like,
Oh, the second and third do both. Ooh, is that true?
wait. If the first hit fails to remove immunity, the remaining 2 hits do nothing. Yes,
I
lucky-
mean, that's the same for like every skill that strips and does something. So that's to be expected.
Yeah. Lucky Madman tested it. Removes all buffs.
Yeah, it removes all buffs.
But yeah, I think the first hit removes all buffs, but it's not like it's.
But is it true that it applies both the debuffs both times? Because I don't think so, right?
That I have absolutely no clue. Me personally. If the first hit, yeah.
Wait. Oh, it might actually do twice.
Let me check.
Because it says decreases the defense for 2 turns and increases the skill cooldown by 2 turns with a 50% chance with each attack. So I think it does both twice. So it's going to be way more consistent than like Okeanos.
Let's check. There we have Kicklid. Attacks the enemy target 3 times to remove the beneficial attack effect with the first attack. Decreases defense for 2 turns and increases the skill cooldown by 2 turns with each attack.
Yeah, so yeah, Sigbur's saying you can 4-turn CD someone with her.
All right.
So she's actually even better than I thought.
Expected.
If that's the case.
I mean, it doesn't say it's in order for the next 2.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so she has 2 chances. So that's pretty insane.
It's not 70% with the new buff with the new patch.
It's 100% now.
It's 100% with the new patch, as you can read, guys.
It goes to 80 and then 100 with skill ups.
Where is it? There we go.
So yeah, she's definitely gonna like shake up the meta a little bit, at least like tone it down. I feel. But even though I mostly care about RJ, I also like that the patch is addressing like some things for Siege and all that.
I mean,
But still, I think
I personally feel like the Water Joker might be the best PvP bomber in RTA at least, and it's a really good counter for some Siege comps.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think for RTA sometimes like Dover would be better.
Mhm.
But if you're against a team that really needs to win fast, then you're probably better off with the Water Joker.
When I say PvP bomber, I don't mean single target bombers like Sierra. I mean like AoE bombers, as in Malak and shit. But yeah, I'm building Cian right now, the Blution. So it's gonna be interesting. I have some. There are some fights where I can use Malaka, but I just feel like it's easy to deal with him sometimes. Just one shot him. Those fears will fucking just disappear if I use the Water Lucian, the fucking Thean. Because even if a Diana one-shots me, then I have immunity and basically invincibility, so that on the second turn I might... And if you face a team that doesn't really have any immunity, then you can just... What is it? Nani? Wait, what the fuck is the saying from You're Already Dead? What is that anime? Fuck! I can't fucking say it.
It's JoJo, I think.
No, it's not JoJo. Omae wa mo shindeiru. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Fist of the North Stars. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Don't fucking weird champ me, Obabo. But yeah, I feel like let's talk about the most serious thing, which is the Han.
I mean, Han is just... He gets one thing more in his kit. Like, before he only stunned, otherwise it was only damage. Now at least he can set up a little bit better for himself. So I think it's, like, he's usable now. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
He would actually be good sometimes.
Sometimes.
But definitely not, like, the most OP, but he's for sure usable. So I'm happy with that buff.
Yeah, I mean, you own him, so... Of course you would be a bit, like, stale with the way you would hype... I'm kidding. Never mind.
I mean, I'm just looking at it objectively and comparing it to other units. But I still need to test it to, like, see how consistent the defense break is actually going to be in reality. Because right now it's, like, around 95% activation rate overall.
Mm.
But it's probably going to depend if you can get it in, like, the first two hits. That's going to matter quite a bit.
Mm.
How often you can get that.
I just realized what they meant with the cursor. Now I can see the cursor on your face when I move it. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, enough fun. Alright, there is a thing though. Like, a lot of people are saying that Will Young got nerfed with this patch. I can understand where they come from, because right now what Will Young does is she scales with attack. So when you ruin her, you can basically go speed, crit damage, attack percent, and still have the same healing effect. And then they also removed 1 turn of the attack power buff. And now they've changed it basically to it scales with max HP, and then they reduced the attack power for 2 turns. But also they additionally added in 15% ATB boost. Do you think it's a nerf, or is it a overall like a boost?
I mean, I was looking a little bit at Reddit and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a bit of stream chats. And there's been a lot of people saying that it's a nerf, but I think, yeah, there's no way this could ever be a nerf to her. I think they just gave her an actual identity now with this. And the reason they changed it to max HP is not just to be like... They're just trying to balance her, because they don't want her to be doing everything in the game. Because now she's basically like an... She's going to be harder to tune than a Wedge at, but she has a superior speed lead.
Mm-hmm.
She brings damage herself as well, and she has like attack buff. So she's going to be very, very strong.
I mean, people have been reluctant to use her, even though she has 28% speed lead. There are people that own her, and not enough people are playing her in RTA, basically because it's what I agree with you when you say like she doesn't have an identity. She didn't have an identity. Like,
I mean, she actually had an identity, I think. I also think a lot of people were stubborn not to use her, because thinking about it more, she's probably like the only speed lead that has a heal, and the only speed lead that attacks buff, I'm pretty sure. Except for Fran, I guess.
Hmm.
Who has a 10 lead. But yeah, now she's even better, because now she just sets up for your whole team as well.
I mean, make it. Like, wait, is there a unit that does attack buff plus ATB boost?
But that.
Oh
But
yeah,
there's
that's
no
right.
unit that has speed lead with it.
Yeah, exactly.
She's,
What I was
way
thinking,
better.
like, imagine pairing her up with Will Young, pairing her up with like Daphnis or something.
Yeah.
Like, you can 100%. I mean, given that like his third skill is not 100%, but if you land it, it will kill it. You know, unless it's Arta or something. But yeah, I think it's a buff, and
I think it might be like the biggest buff in the patch. I guess together with Cyclid is still like a bigger buff, but it's really big. The William change. I would be very happy to get a William now.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's the same thing that happened with like Wedget's buff, where people don't really see the value at first
Mhm.
and say that the unit is trash. But then after some people actually experiment with it, and you see the comps you can do with it, then people are gonna see the actual value.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to trash talk. Like it's easy to just look at the paper, like look, just on paper it just looks bad, or like honestly even on paper it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, so like already I'm seeing someone here in chat saying that Megan's boost is better because it's 20%.
Okay.
But like the fact that she has a speed lead
Also
while still
has
being a booster, that means like
also
you will
has
never
higher
be
base
able
speed.
to ban out. Yeah, and you will never be able to ban out the speed lead because she has it herself. So she can it's really really strong because you can never ban out the speed lead when she's in the game.
And heals. Like Megan doesn't heal. Megan provides defense buff, but yeah, at least Wu Young will keep your team. Like you can have some sustain. So I think people should just wait and see Wu Young get used more, and then fucking complain. I mean, it's
yeah, like
easy.
she's basically just a like attack based widget now, kind of.
Mhm.
Less boost, you're gonna have to be tighter tuned. But I feel like overall she has more units to combine with. It's just that Wedget, instead of dealing damage himself or healing, is that he also gives
You know,
like ATB every turn.
my most wanted unit was like for now, like because I feel I love playing aggressive. So Bastet was my most wanted, but I would probably say that I'm not gonna lie, but I think Wu Young might be one of my most wanted LDs now. The way that I would like to play it, attack buff and boost, and also has 28 speed lead. It's just too juicy to give up on.
Yeah, like I think she's up there with Wedget now, which
Yeah.
is. But I mean, we're still gonna have to see. Same thing with Han buff. I could just be talking shit,
Yeah, I mean it's like
but I'm pretty sure.
on paper it just sounds nice. Yeah. Light Monkey. He now pushes back ATB like a pseudo. I mean, I still think what you also said, like the what's her name, the Light Akia. What is her name?
Yeah, Arya was better than Light Monkey before patch.
Yeah. Now at least Light Monkey is better than Arya. So
Yeah, she's better than Arya sometimes. Because like the good thing with Succubus is they're less weak to resets. Light Monkey King is still weak to resets here.
Mhm.
But yeah, for most cases, Light Monkey King is going to be better than Arya now.
Mm. And it's not just his harmful effect. Like any harmful effect granted on the enemy, even if you if they resist your harmful effect and they already have harmful effect, he will push back. So I have a guildie. I mean, I think he is a guildie. Penguin. He thinks that the Shihu buff is. I'm not gonna out him like that, but I already did, so it's too late. He thinks that Water Monkey King is a nerf and not a boost, not a buff.
Why? What was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, what is the reasoning, Penguin? What is the reasoning? He thinks. He said that unless you have, you will get a higher chance of missing crit. Yes.
Okay, but he gets a higher chance of like now my 57 crit monkey is actually gonna strip like way more than he did. But yeah.
But I think
it's it's a straight buff.
It's
I don't think it's as big as people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be more consistent, but it's not as big as people make it out to be. He's like, it's pretty nice. It's like quality of life for water monkeys.
Never mind. He just responded. Dave explained the math to me, and I was stupid. Okay, Dave is boss, basically, the guy that was in SWC. All right, and then we have the monkeys. The rest of the monkeys decreasing cooldown. Do you think that's impactful?
Yeah, it is. But just to like address what Peng is saying. So I guess Boss was saying that if you have like, you're more likely to miss a crit, but overall you're still gonna crit more. Your damage is still gonna be more consistent, I feel, for the water monkey buff.
Did water monkey need a buff? No, I don't think the water monkey needed a buff at all.
I mean, you're still gonna use the water monkey in the same situations you did before. Like, the damage increase is only 2%. It's just gonna be more consistent in what he does with the third, which is not really gonna change that much for him. I guess 2% could kill something once in a while, but yeah.
More chances to kill Miho, yes.
Yeah, that's actually true, the Mio thing. So like a lot of things here address Mio, even though they're not like explicitly nerfing her. Like the bomber that can't really get killed easily, just deals with Mio. Now they have like Oblivion for every element they can use for siege. All that good stuff.
The Beast Riders. Did we talk about the Beast Riders? Like
I think we talked about them in the start.
Yeah, I mean Barbara.
But we can talk about them.
Yeah. I mean, I think the soul, the same. I mean, they will be as useful as they were before, but now it's easier to deal with them, basically.
Yeah, I think their win rates will drop by like 1.5%. Maybe.
Repeating, of course, right?
Yes. But yeah, so right now they're sitting at like 53, I think. I think they're gonna go down to like 51.5, which is still very strong. Maybe 51, somewhere around that.
She who is stronger in the meta as well, since when Beast Rider dismount, they're still stunned from his second skill. Yeah, I mean, yes. So since they keep the harmful effects when they dismount, that means that they will keep the bomb. Instead of the bomb disappearing when they dismount, they will also have the defense break. They will all have all the debuffs basically. So it's easier to deal with them now than before. All right, and then we have the Beast Monks. I think the Beast Monks might have a return into Siege and Guild Wars, because a lot of people have been like filtering them out using like Beast Rider comps instead, and other comps basically. I don't know. I might rune up Moritesh again. Defense break, 100% application when you skill him up with the third skill on Ritesh, and then we have Meditate the Cleanse, so that's pretty nice.
Actually, that's not a too stupid thing that Anubis is saying, because it will stay true for units like Succubus and Hathor and stuff. If you skill 2 and kill, the sleep should stay on them. So like Isaria, for example, could sleep her as she's killing them, and the sleep is gonna stay. But if you have a sleep on them and kill it with like a Vanessa or something, then the sleep is gonna be gone. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Poseidon. Like, do you think people will get him out of the storage and use him in RTA?
It could probably be used in some Chiwu Gemini stuff. I think could be really good. But the only thing is, triple Revenge Verd is still a thing. That's like the only unit that didn't get addressed too much.
Oh yeah.
Except for a little bit more Oblivion units.
Mm.
But yeah, that's not really gonna be too relevant for a triple Revenge Verd, because it's only picked in during certain conditions. So
Poseidon can fill the Belinus spot if they have no will. Yeah, since I don't have a Belinus, but I think Belinus is still better in that sense, with the defense break, provoke, and dots that comes with the second skill afterwards. But yeah, like the attack won't land as a glancing hit. That is pretty nice, since it's a speed scaling attack.
yeah, it's a big buff.
It's a big.
Because now
buff,
we can like
though.
decrease all the Hathors, Gannings and stuff. No trouble.
And then we have the Cian.
Yeah, that's like my favorite buff so far. Even though Hanga buffed, because that's gonna be a really fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a complete new unit.
And it's such a simple change as well. Like it's a simple change, and it just like honestly, I couldn't even think of that change to make him useful. Like now he's so fucking like he's really good. He's really good. Like when you were thinking back in the day, before this buff right, like that we got now, like you would think like, how the fuck can you change Cian? Like what do you do? Give him more stats, give him whatever, and it's such a simple change, and now he's really useful. Is Tessarian's passive affecting all the units, no matter who they're targeting, or does it only work if they're targeting Tessarian? This could be a good anti-cleave unit, I believe.
It's probably only gonna be for Tessarian. I couldn't really imagine it being for everyone. I think Tessarian would be, like, I think he's already really, really strong now with his buff. If it's for all allies, then it's insane. Probably only for him, I would imagine.
Oh, he was talking about the decrease, the damage dealt.
Yeah. Like the new effects. And I think Tessarian is actually interesting because even though no one is using him, I think he's already coming back into the meta a bit. Because even though we're having a lot of speed comps, we're still having more bruiser fights as well. And with stuff like Vigor and everything coming in, it's going to open up for a Tessarian pick again. And now that he's also tanker, it's going to be pretty hard to deal with.
I like the fact that he's going to be a bit more tanky now. It's just...
Yeah, because like now when you bring him into like a Miho, Ragdoll, and Taurus, he's almost always going to be the first focus. So that's like a pretty big stat increase for him. And he's still going to get even more efficient HP by heals. Like attack-based heals, like
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean...
So it's a nice buff. I was hoping that it would get something like, if they attack Tessarian, then it would apply Oblivion to them, like kind of like a Lizardman thing. But this is pretty decent as well.
Do we even have any like significant unit? I mean, like a meta unit that does something like that? When you attack it, it applies something that we use in RTA currently. Like, is there anything like that?
Miho applies a stun and damage.
I mean, on direct contact. That's what I mean.
I don't think we do.
Oh yeah,
I think that's like
reflect damage. Yeah, we have reflect damage. That's all we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice to use some of these like mechanism. What do you call it? What is the word that I'm trying to find?
Is it mechanics?
Mechanics. Yeah. Sorry. Use the mechanics of some monsters that we already have in the game. And it's not even applied in like anywhere. No one is using these units basically. Not even in PvE. Like it's only maybe some new players in mid game have these. But I build the Lizardmen. Like the which one was it? The Win one that applies dots, I think, or something, with the second skill and shit. But I never continue using him. Like those type of mechanics would be nice to have in the game.
But like that's the thing with this patch. Like I can see that the first impression is that it's kind of lackluster. The only thing that was really nerfed was Beast Riders.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually feels like there's logical thought behind most of the buffs in the patch. And like for Volume's example, they don't just throw in the like 15% without actually thinking about how it would affect her. So I feel like it's pretty promising, this one. It feels like it's like how they actually thought about the patch feels superior to the
all
like,
other patches.
yeah, like pretty much every other patch. Like even the Molong Hearth Organi patch, it felt like they changed those units just to change it. But here it feels like there's actual thought. Like maybe the like light water monkey buff wasn't really needed, and a few of those. But overall, it's pretty nice.
I mean, we have like a lot of people are pointing out Molly, the Light Mermaid, 10 to 25% heal, HP recovery. Like, is that? Do you think that's significant in any way? Like significant enough to start drafting her?
I mean, maybe you could use it in RTA for some things, but I think it's more going to be a buff to Sinshei's DMR's defense. And maybe a fun thing for AD as well. Like, I think Molly Achroma on AD with the HP lead is going to be insane. Not that that's something most people can run, but that's going to be nasty.
I also think that like some people might actually now use the fire sniper as well, because now like I think that the mechanic before like decreases a random target's defense for 1 turn. Like it's too hard to know exactly how you're gonna. It's too RNG to justify how you use them in a battle. But now, when you know exactly what target is going to get the defense break, it's a bit more easier to draft. It's a bit more easier to use them. So I think it's a nice buff. That I mean, I think it's a nice change, not a buff.
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about Fire Monkey once again.
Okay.
Because I didn't think that much about it in the beginning, but it's. I mean, it's still not going to be super big, but for like as a Gani Hato counter. Now you won't really be able to like have him perma resets. Like he is gonna proc into it since it's 2-turn CD, so that's actually pretty big. So there's no way to like fully get rid of his chance to defense break and heal. So I like that.
I mean, even if you reset him, he has a chance of proccing into that skill.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's yeah. I might actually start using him for that.
Yeah, and Violent is even better on him now because now you can actually get the heal way more often. So Vampire is a little bit more redundant on him. Now I think Violent is definitely the way to go.
I mean, I think Violent is the way to go because since the cooldown is enough to keep him sustained, I think you don't really need to rune him on Vampire. But you can
and
still
like even yeah.
No,
what were you gonna say?
No, I think I fucking lost my. It's so easy to lose my train of thought. Go ahead, you.
Yeah, and because I felt like we skipped over the Monkey Kings pretty much. We only talked about the water one, I think.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Because I think
yeah.
Also, the wind and dark one are gonna be they could be really nice too. I think the dark one, his buff is probably on par with like light one's buff. Because now he has strip defense break on 2-turn CD, which is even scarier. Because that's a strip, and he also steals. Or does he steal? He does, right?
Yeah, it says steals. It's steal. So basically, and I think he steals even if they have. He steals the will and then apply defense break. So like that's a really nice setup. And then and also the base speed of the Dark Monkey King is.
Yeah, so I feel like he's finished. He's like a really good Elena 5 now. Like one thing they could do, but I think that might be a little overkill now with this buff. Because before patch I was thinking that they could switch the stun and defense break rate. So he has 100% stun rate and 50% defense break rate. Because now it's 100% defense and 50% stun rate. Because it will feel way more consistent to use. But now I feel like he's going to be a really good unit. And yeah, like Wind Monkey's second skill is basically just Ager's second skill now. Just that it's defense break instead of brand. So that's going to be pretty scary too.
Which target did you talk about?
I talked about the wind one.
Yeah.
Because his second skill gives him 50% ATB.
Mm.
And it's 2-turn CD now, so he's gonna cycle a lot.
Hmm.
And like he could also proc into it, so he gains like half a turn extra from procking into it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He can proc. Oh, that's like it's so it's just I just hate that fact when he now that the Veligil got that treatment, like before he got that treatment, it was just okay. He's not going to use punishment. Like he's not going to do a significant amount of damage. But then he procs and gets that fucking second skill and just fucks you in the ass.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. I think the monkey kings. I think they're going to be more significant now. At least to try. At least I'm gonna try them out and see how much it's going to change my the way that I fight. And the base speed of all of these units, like all of the monkeys, they all awaken to base to speed. Are these the only units? Are these the only monsters that have random base speeds? Because some of these, some of the monkeys have different base speed. I think the dark one has the highest base speed.
I'm not sure if it's the only family.
Dragons have also.
Dragons also have, okay.
Kona also, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. Kona does. Yeah, they're all faster or slower by 1 speed.
Yeah, the monkey buffs are nice. And since we're kind of going into a more bruiserish meta now, hopefully, I feel like Wind 1 might actually be a Devilmon target.
Do you have him?
Yeah, I do have him. I think, unless I fed him. Let me check.
You fucking cuck.
I don't think I did. Because I actually like Wind Monkey. I don't think I fed him. Unless I was like raging and I think, yeah, I have him.
Good.
He's safe. I'm just not gonna have to like tilt feed him before the patch hits.
Bruiser meta means more RNG. Yeah, because more yeah, people get more tilted by the value procs and shit because the game's going to go into an extended time, and you will feel the RNG more than you would if you would fight a cleave type of team.
I mean, it's more RNG in a way, but I think it's also gonna be a different type of RNG. Because if you go like speed comps now, there's still like the Trip Revenge Verd and Tars and stuff, which can feel even more toxic. So I think it's I actually like that it could be changing a bit. I don't mind it.
Let me see. I don't think the snipers are worth talking about that much. Like they.
What is Wind 1?
The Wind Sniper.
Yeah, what is that passive? Because it went from 50 to 100, so he gains like a new turn.
Veteran. I don't really
I'm not
know
sure what it does.
Let me check. Let us check. The sniper, Wind Sniper does increases the attack bar by 50% each, and increases the attack bar for 1 turn when the enemy's attack lands a glance. Ooh.
So it basically gets attack buff and a turn when someone glances.
Hidden aim.
So it's time for Guillemot and Carbine Molly defense.
But wait, increases the attack bar by so he has. I mean, hidden aim is such a weird passive. I mean, it's such a weird skill.
Yeah, but it fits him pretty well, to be honest, with the passive. Because he just activates it, and if the enemy glances, then he just gets it off.
Yeah, he gets immediate turn.
So that's actually pretty cool.
But I think also the first skill has, the first skill isn't that significant in terms of like the multiplier. What is his base?
A little bit this patch, at least.
Yeah. Let me check. What is his total? Of course, we have this Ruski, Duruzia. So this is his base stats: 8k HP. I mean, almost 9k HP. I mean, it's a like.
I mean, defense is good at least.
Yeah, he has high base speed as well. I think he awakens to base speed. Does he? I think he does.
Yeah, it does, because Covenant is low.
15 speed, yeah.
Covenant is crit rate awaken.
Like his comment. It's too
But
late.
like even though that's not going to be super significant, it actually, like, you can see the thought behind that buff.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, because that actually makes sense for the unit and how he's supposed to be played, even though he's not getting played.
I mean,
So that it's nice to see still.
yeah. We're gonna touch upon a topic later on, but I also want to talk about like the water dryad. I feel like I'm gonna. Oh, I mean, 3-turn defense break and oblivion. Oh, and pushback 50%. Oh, and heal on second skill, but he also send away
and pushes back, or like pushes back the debuffs. Pretty nice.
Mm. What do you think about Lupinus?
She's alright, but I don't think it's like RTA material at all. She could be Guild War defense material, or siege maybe, for a weird one.
Alright. Let me see. I don't think there's anything other than those units that are significant, but we can actually touch upon some of these, because I agree with you when it comes to like there was some logical thinking when they did these changes. So and it's not just, it doesn't feel like it's a change just because they want to make a change. Some thought process went behind this, and
because I feel like a lot of like other patches they just add a random like debuff or strip onto a unit to fix it. I mean, I guess there's like some case of it here as well, like with the Hernie, but it feels like the defense break still makes sense, because you want to kill the unit that's oblivioned. A lot of times, like if it's a Miho or Ragdoll or whatever.
But I
so
do
it still synergizes a bit with the way you would play it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the gargoyles, honestly, the changes they've made to those, it's not significant enough to start using them. You know, I have like 50 of them in. I don't have 50 of them, but I have like 20 of them in storage right now.
Dude,
like
I've pulled so many Dryads.
The Dryads.
Yes, I think I have 15 wind ones. Alone.
Okay. I mean, I personally, when it comes
I don't even know how.
When it comes to gargoyles, I don't think, even with these changes, it doesn't really like impact me into building them. Still build like to 6-star them. Like it's all fun and games, but it's just such niche type of units. I just don't feel like I mean, it could be good for new players and stuff, but
I think they're meant to be siege units. That's why we're not really seeing the value.
I mean, my thought process is just like I only think of RTA, but
yeah.
But it's not only I do try to think of Guild Wars and Siege and shit, but I still think that there are some other units that you can use for that specific situation. It's just like, for me it's just it's random. The magical archers. Wait. The light archer, after attacking, recovers the turn instantly if the enemy is not stunned. There's still like, it's very niche type of usage for these units. Dark archer, like the dark magical archer, increases the chance of ignoring defense 15% for each harmful effect granted on the enemy. I think the usage offer will still be the same. Like, I don't see any different way people will use these units.
Maybe Dark One could have some fun combos. Depends on if there's like a unit that can strip and apply 2 debuffs. Because then you have what is it, like 80% chance to ignore with every hit. And I think the dark one has like 117 base speed.
Yeah, she has a high base speed. I don't really remember what it was, but she has a high base speed. And then we have we can go down to the awakening effects.
A 120 base speed, yeah.
120. Oh yeah, I have 3 of them, but I still don't know. So then we have Fire Panda. Do you see Fire Pandas being relevant in RTA
No.
at all? Not at all. Not even let's say speed, good damage, full resistance to just cleanse the whole team.
I don't really see it because there's so many like super strong cleansers already.
Yeah. I mean, you could already.
It's hard for him to slot in.
I just
But
want
think
you
it's
to
like
say yes because I don't have a
because
Vela.
you want to use him.
Yeah, I don't have Vela, so this would be my pseudo Vela.
Yeah, but then use Delphoy.
But I want a fire cleanser.
I guess you could try it.
I guess you could use.
But you also have Lisa, which is probably better.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she has a more like fun playstyle as well.
That is actually true, man. Lisa is. Yeah. And I'm thinking just specifically for RTA in this case.
Yep.
I just want to find a reason to use them. I will try him out since I
mean, you could try it. Like the first skill is still nice, having
Deepest break.
2-turn Deepest Break. So
Yeah. And like the first thing I did when I got him, I Devilmon him, and I never used him ever since. So, so I just wanna.
Dude, Baron is right. They need to make fire cleanses to buff water, Artmaster.
They needed to make fire cleanses to buff.
See,
water.
there's even like logical thought behind the fire. Now that's stretching it, but I'm not gonna dick ride too much.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to see this patch.
Yeah, and then we have the Wind Anubis to grant Oblivion. I think the Wind Anubis could be a nice anti-cleave, more anti-cleave now than before. Since there are some cleaves that, because they don't want to face Mihus, they pick the Mihu themselves. So now you can just respawn with Anubis and just second skill that Mihu to death.
Yeah, like both Ayunu and Cian would kind of be nice for that.
Yeah.
If they go like a Mio cleave.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit.
And like a good thing with this is also because a lot of people are mad that they left Mio untouched. But to be honest, even though I hate fighting Mio in RTA, and it's like rough with RNG, RTA was not really her like. That was not the area that she was the most problematic in. I feel like she's even stronger on AD and Siege, and they give us way more options to fight her in those areas. While still being a pretty good counter to things in RTA. But yeah.
People complaining that I skipped the Bay. I didn't mean to skip. It's just that his skill now, instead of healing himself, he heals the whole team, which is pretty significant maybe for Guild Wars defense. And maybe like Tower 10s on Siege defense. He basically has a 2-turn cooldown on the second skill that heals the team for pretty, like, it's a pretty, I don't know how much that heal is, but it's nice. That's all I have to say to it. Basically.
I mean, you saw my Commune when you attacked me yesterday.
Huh?
My Commune healed himself for like half his health, I think.
Yeah. Do you really need to bring that up now? Fucking asshole.
Yes, I do. Because that was all I was hearing on my stream yesterday. How you beat my defenses. I almost rage quit the stream like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, man. And Wind Mermaid, we've already talked about her. Like, her base speed also justifies how good of a unit she has become in terms of like countering Hathors, Genny Hathor Chiwu comps for RTA. And then we have Zeratu. what do we have to say about Zeratu? I feel like it's just gonna be so much easier to rune him now.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think this like Serata buff says that much. Like the Serata buff for me says more that they're actually seeing the issues with Resistance Awakening on some units. So I think like units like Trinity, probably not Oberon because he's already really strong. But yeah, probably a lot more units are gonna get their Awakening change. So that's promising. So I feel like this is actually one of the patch where they can actually be like honest with that thing where they're saying that they have listened to community, even though it might not appear like that at first, because like everything was indirectly touched. So they're not like making people mad by nerfing their like new Hathor or their Devilmon Mio and stuff. It's like indirect nerfs.
Yeah, but there is. We can talk about. Like, do you have anything to say about Akha Khamir, the Wind Ifrit, like the speed awakening? I mean, the speed lead awakening.
I mean, it's a free-to-play speed lead, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. I think you can do some cool things within him in Arena. Maybe cleave in RTA, but it's so hard to like go for AoE cleaves right now. Because there's so many obnoxious things. Yeah, like I was already this morning when I saw the patch, I was thinking of a like. You go Amir as speed lead, and then you have Fire Artmaster, Kabila, and Lure as an AO. Actually, maybe not even Lure. I think there's a. Wait, let me see. I think there's a 2-way pixel that defense breaks and put something else. Let me see. That's gonna be the new meta AO. To counter Tridents. Actually, still probably not going to counter Tridents, but it could be something.
Amir Neftis. Oof.
Yeah, Casey puts slow and defense break.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that could actually be nice. And then you have wind, fire, water, and a light unit.
Oh
yeah, Matura does that as well, I think. Or does he?
Mantura
it's
does.
A slow defense break as well.
Mantura does, I think, it's defense break and isn't it dots?
Yeah, it's defense break and dots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, so either him or Casey, I guess.
Just use Leo Will Young to counter Tritons.
That is true. Like Leo Will Young is gonna be nasty. Because in that case, like the 15% being low doesn't even matter. But yeah.
Yes, guys, we did talk about Tessarian. We have already talked about Tessarian. But yeah, I think Wind Ifrit will be a nice substitute. I mean, it's the base speed. I mean, not the base speed, but the leader skill is too juicy to give up on. It's going to be more used in our arena offense and shit. We might see it in RTA as well. But there is one question that I have. Or not a question, but a lot of people complain that this is like when they watch this balance patch, it's like their immediate reaction would be, like this doesn't change the meta. This doesn't change. Like they didn't touch on Miho, they didn't touch on Antares, they didn't touch on anything that is relied on RNG to win in RTA. And I semi-agree with some because, like, what I agree on is that I think these patches, this balance patch specifically, it just feels like we could get... Either we get more... I need to use my words carefully. No, I don't. We could get these balance patches more often, more frequent, more than, like, 3 months... more than... once every 3 months. And now I'm speaking specifically for RTA. But I have this idea, and I've already said this on stream before. Like, I would love to see if a lot of people complaining about that there's always the same staleness in RTA. Always the same fucking staleness in RTA. I would suggest that having a form of rotation in RTA would give it a bit more of spice, meaning that let's say as an example that Comtus implements a rotation to RTA, meaning that maybe 8 to 10 units every 3 weeks or every month or something. 8 to 10 units gets banned preemptively before even joining a fight for that month or 3 weeks, so that we can have a more diverse type of RTA. And these changes, these bans would already be like units that people are already using often, like Hathor, Gani, and also toxic units like Ragdoll or like stuff that you can't really counter that easily. Also, to just remove the staleness of having to deal with the same RTA every fucking day. This would implement a form of diversity to RTA. This also means that, at least for people that play RTA, like endgame players, so that they don't feel this staleness that comes from doing the same rinse and repeat shit every time. Implementing this rotation would also give them a reason to continue, because they're gonna have like it's not gonna be as stale. And a lot of people are gonna probably kind of, oh, but what about us that is Fighter 1 or whatever? Like this doesn't have to apply to a Fighter 1 or C1 or C2. Like this rule could, like this rotation rule could apply to people that are above C3, G1, that have enough monster to rotate in RTA. I feel like that could also be some sort of a fix for the people that are asking for balance patch pretty often. They want more balance patch to remove the staleness. This could be a good what is the word? I keep fucking a good fix basically for the people that are asking for change in RTA. Having a rotation would mean more spice to RTA. I don't know. What do you feel about that, Obabo?
I feel like it would be fine. They could do either more frequent patches or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like going with rotations is probably going to be more controversial for them to go with. And personally, I would probably still rather see more frequent patches over rotations. Yeah, I would take either.
You would take either.
Well, yeah, I would probably.
Obama doesn't
like
care. It doesn't.
I mean, I'm gonna use my Hathor anyways. Right?
You're gonna use their Hathor. What will happen if they ban that Hathor for that month?
Then then
you
I
stop
quit for that
playing.
month. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But
You
yeah.
fucking ass.
I played without Hathor for like 4 years, so I can probably do something. Yeah, I think, man, it feels like Comtos is so like deep down my throat right now, because I'm seeing so much that people don't think this was worth the wait. But this is probably gonna be a hot take as well. But I feel like this patch had more content than like the last year's patches altogether, like balance patches.
I don't really remember them. That's how insignificant they were. I don't really remember them that much.
So if you're super disappointed with this patch, then I'm not sure how you're still playing the game with like the other patches that has been in the game.
That is a very...
Yeah, man, I wish I didn't have Han right now, because like everything I say, they can just refute with me having Han. Even though like Han is like maybe the 4th most unit that I'm hyped about for this patch. But yeah. Now Molo Nerf was like 2 years ago.
Recent patches gave us Clara.
Yeah, I think it's fine since I have like explained my point of view.
Yeah,
I can see some.
It's a pretty logical point of view. A lot of people will refute what you say, most likely because.
Yeah, I just hope that they listen to what I say before they start sending threats. But yeah.
Sending threats. Okay, chill, man. No, but I think like in summary, I would say that this balance patch was logical. The way that they went through this was logical. Beast Riders was a type of family that was too overtuned for RTA for Summoners War altogether, because they had too much in their kit. So either they had to, and when people expect a balance patch, they want to basically have something to compare with, and they will always compare with the strongest unit in the game, like automatically. They will always compare a change to the strongest unit in the game. So when a change happens to a unit, they will compare it with Beast Rider and think, dude, what the fuck? Beast Rider is so fucking strong. What is this shitty ass change they did to my Ariel, basically? And so what I think in this sense is that so either they had to buff the rest of the units to like put them on, like balance them out with the Beast Riders, or they have to take down the Beast Riders to be more in level with what the current standards are for how strong a unit should be. So I think it was like a good change when it comes to Beast Riders, and I think everyone, I think a lot of people were expecting a Beast Rider nerf.
I'm seeing it from Pokemon Go, asking why I feel so lukewarm towards Han. I know it's kind of weird because when I saw the patch, I like went into my rune management and tried to rune up a Han, and it's pretty demanding, to be honest. Because we've had units like Vanessa and Aegir before, who needs like basically every stat except for resistance, and now Han is almost the same. He can probably be a little bit more lenient on accuracy, but it's still fairly important. But he also needs 100 crit rate to be effective. So it's like you need almost 4 more rolls added than a like effective Vanessa or Aegir to get the 100 crits. But I do think it's a nice change for sure. For sure, it might also be that he hasn't been touched for so long that I don't really believe the buff. Maybe it's gonna be like Jaeger, where they just pull him out, or like Wol Young, and then he comes back in 2 years. I'm still not.
Crit
yeah,
rate
maybe
awakening.
I'm still not.
But guys, you have heard have heard about Obabo crit rate, right? It's impossible for him to rune up something in that. Like, even if he has crit rate awakening, and even if Obabo has a slot 3 30% crit rate, he will somehow still manage to have 50 crit rate, you know? So it's... yeah.
And I mean, I was looking at the units that I would need to take, like, top tier runes from, and it was like Diana, a lot of runes from Shiho, to make him have, like, some decent speed. I'm still probably gonna do it and test it out for sure, but then we'll see how... like how much rune depth I can actually commit to Han. But it's nice. He's useful for sure. He definitely went from being like on the lower end of LDs to on like at least the lower of the top end, I would say. So it's nice to see.
All right. So to just finish off this review of the balance patch, as I said, it was a logical. It was.
Wait, one thing, just so I can hate on Comtos a little bit.
Go ahead.
Like, we've said it before. Like, what the fuck is the demon buff? Because that doesn't have like logical sense behind it.
Oh yeah, can I?
So like, why is that in there with every like? Pretty much every change has been good.
Let me respond. Yeah. I think, like, people can correct me if I'm wrong. They just want to make the list longer. It's a sensible take, I would say, because from their standpoints, they want to have more. Like, more is more in this sense. So when people look at the list, they see it's a pretty fucking big list.
But even that is kind of weird, because why wouldn't they buff like demons first skill by 5%? So there's like a whole paragraph of just demons. I don't know. Feels weird to just give a random buff like that. Maybe they're thinking there's gonna be like an extra dot if you get that extra damage. I have no clue.
This is also an issue I have with Comtus. Like, it's that I will like the transparency. I will like to know their thought process when they do changes. I will like to know exactly what goes through their mind, not for us to imagine what goes through their mind. I would like to know exactly why they do these changes, but at the same time, this is a gacha game. It's a gambling company. They have hit and miss types of games that they release. They release a lot of games every year. Come to us and Gameville. So like, for them, it's basically what isn't broke, don't fix, because it gives them the they earn money. They get the revenues they want. So why even be transparent if people are not complaining enough? Why do they need to change anything? But for us, I think we should ask for transparency, but they don't really need to be transparent. But I feel like it would be nice to know what their thought process is when they do the changes. Like, what made them think of putting in the demon 8%? And I think a lot of, and if they would, like, it would be still like a big ass fucking meme. Yeah, the reason we put out the fire demons 8%. Ha! You know, I feel like it's they're just gonna run away, you know. So there is no I don't know. Like it still would be nice to see why they put these changes, and not for us to imagine why. I would just like to know from their mouth why they do these changes. And that's my big fucking issue with Comtus, is that we don't really know. It's for us to guess. And I like evidence than just guessing. But yeah, overall, the change, the balance patch, I feel like it's a pretty solid balance patch. And I think it's going to be a pretty nice season to come with these changes. A lot of counters, a lot of new units that we can start utilize. And the Monkey Kings is something that I think I will try to at least use and see if it helps me at all to deal with Gani Hathor and Chiwu Comp.
Kicklid.
And Kicklid. Yeah, the Kicklid. But yeah, if they continue doing these patches, that's the thing, that like we don't get these patches every balance patch, so it's just a feel like it's a feels bad, man, if the next balance patch is just going to be pure shit. We have this to compare with, and our expectations will be high, but at the same time our expectations should be high, because we would like to get these types of balance patches every time. But at the same time, it's hard for the developers' standpoint, and like, it's going to be hard for them to do the changes as well. But I don't know. I feel like if we criticize with what do you call it? Criticize with a logical sense, not just criticize just because criticizing. What is the word I'm trying to find? Yeah, criticize constructively. Constructive criticism. I think that's solid. I'm not sponsored by Comtus. What the fuck? I say fuck Comtus every time. Do you think that they want that on their fucking brand? Fuck Comtus. But I love them. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I think it's a solid balance patch, but it's still, Comtus is still a very, I still say they like it's a pussy company. They do changes too slowly. Did you hear me, guys? I said pussy company. All right, is that enough? All right, NordVPN, by the way.
I mean, it's not gender neutral, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, balance patch. Bueno, mucho bueno. What do you think, Obabo? Do you give it a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, or like a thumbs in the ass?
I mean, I will give it like 1 thumbs up, but since it's Summer Sword, I will give it 2 with all the patches that it's been. And I've said like my reasoning in the video. So
yeah,
because I feel like the overall view on the balance patch is that it's pretty poor and lacking. But I would disagree. Man, I hate that I have Han. Like, it's always gonna come back to me having Han.
Stop repeating
it's
it.
Impossible, man.